Charmaine, peace and freedom. Nini, welcome. I'm Queen Mother Imakhu. It's my pleasure to be with you again. It's been a little minute. Yes, we've had a lot going on in the world. And I'll tell you, I really had to take time to ingest it all and to think about what my approach is going to be to all of this and what I needed to say because many people are highly traumatized right now. Many are in pain. Many are confused, angry. We have so much going on right now here in the United States. And as a faith leader, it's important for me to be able to uh, really pull my thoughts together and say what is appropriate to address the situations. It's not just a situation, it is a series of situations that we have been getting hit with day after day after day after day for the last not even 2 weeks. So much change to our social order, so much change to everything that not everything, but many things that have been near and dear to us here in the States in terms of traditions, in terms of funding uh, uh, for living, for basic living, and uh, the rise, the continued rise of racism. Let's talk today, okay? As we are honoring the energies of Pekit and of Hatmeit. They correspond in Brazil to Oya and to Yemoja. And tonight's message is called Get on Code. Most Black folks know what that means, okay? That refers to everyone pulling together and acting in one accord for the benefit of the whole. But in order to do that, then there has to be a single focus, a single purpose, and a single desire to see change happen in our world. For example, here's a small example. No, actually, it's a major example. So, Pekit Yamoja, okay, we're honoring them today. Uh, but then also in Brazil, they're being honored. Yes. So, syncretizing, working together so energetically we are flowing together and putting the same energies and intentions out there as people who celebrate African traditional religions, even though we're coming with different names, similar traditions, the idea of our coming together so that we can create positive change. And let me just also stop very quickly and say, please, please, please hit like, okay? Please subscribe on my YouTube channel. And then also you can come on over and join me at my Facebook page at facebook.com/Imakhu. And also, please share that we are here on the air. We're going to discuss some very important things tonight. And I promise you, I'm not going to be too long because I know the Grammys are on and I know some of you want to watch, right? I don't have traditional TV anymore. I watch everything online, you know? So I'll find out the results later. They show the clips on YouTube and all of that, and that's just fine with me. How is everybody? I know I left y'all hanging with the book of Prince Harjadef, if you were following along. And Brandon, it's good to see you. How are you? How's your mom? I'm hoping and praying that everything is better and that she is healing and that you're good too. So, the last thing I wanted to actually share with you regarding the book of Prince Harjadef was the summation lines, which talked about the importance of beautifying your home, living someplace where you feel really good and making it beautiful, and then also looking out for your afterlife, and then getting a ka priest or priestess who is going to be devoted to the family that you would treat as a family member, who is going to take care of the family outdoor shrines and giving that person a plot of land as well, because you're treating them like family, because they're doing a service for you. Overall, what is the whole lesson behind Prince Harjadeth? It is forward thinking, it is planning for the future, planting seeds for the future, cultivating those seeds, and making sure that you are creating safety for yourself and your loved ones. This is the main thing we need to focus on right now. With all of this radical change is going on, and people feeling so very unsafe and unsteady, we need to anchor in on what is important. What's important? Well, first of all, taking care of yourself. Okay. I know some people who are just becoming completely unhinged right now, and I understand. I really do. But the thing that you need to remember is that by staying centered, you can make sound decisions. And then also thinking about what's coming in the future, what can possibly come based on the daily changes that we are seeing here. What do you need to do to anchor yourself in? And we're also going to review the reading that we did, the oracle for going back to Weber inputs and looking at what 2025 would be. And I'm telling you, the oracle was right on point. So we're going to do a reminder of what we need to do to get through this challenging period of time. Okay. All right. Who else? Who else is here? Come on, let me know. And please put your name in the chat and say hello. It's been a little minute. And I'm grateful, grateful, grateful to be here. I'm grateful for life. Yesterday, I was at the library performing for a program that was in celebration of the drum. So I was able to drum with some dear friends of mine, Baba Manzar, and also Sister T. And as a trio, we performed under the name Drum Talk, because with drumming, you're having conversation with each other if you're really making good music. Okay. So it was wonderful. And then after that, I got to go and do a little more recording in the studio, because I'm continuing to focus on the improvement of my business in order to really get solidified in case things go either way. Okay. So, hoping you all are good. How have you been? And how are you feeling about everything that's going on here in the US, whether you live here or not? I know people all over the world are talking about us here and the person we refer to as number 47, formerly number 45. But you know what? Just like I had said before, when it came to the election and the results, we've been through worse. We are going to get through this. Oh, okay. So listen, yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay. It's really bad. But we need to really focus on doing what's right for ourselves and for our families so that we can uh, surpass this. And also stay on top of your legislators and voice your opinions about what is bothering you, just so people don't think that you're sitting back and accepting everything. When you start sitting back quietly and accepting everything, that's when things really get worse. We don't want that to happen. We want to be able to express ourselves and cut things off in the best way that we can. Okay. But beyond that, listen, we are mystical people. And there is a Kemetic scripture that talks about when laws fail, that's what juju is for. That's what mysticism is about. Okay. So when things happen in society where things break down and things are not going justly. See, this is what I was actually talking about with being on code with our syncretism with other ATRs. Okay. We need to focus on what we can do to shift the energy, to move it around. Shibu, okay, to shift things around so that with the common force, from a mystical standpoint, we are able to overcome. How many of you believe in that? Now that's talking about a lot of work. That's talking about a greater consciousness. It's talking about folks really coming together and being on code. Okay? I know that we've just had a bunch of holidays yanked from us. Let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, we have enough holy days, even in the Kemetic tradition alone. In the ATRs, we have so many sacred days, so many cultural days that we can still celebrate. You know, there's, listen, taking away a Black History Month or saying that you are, I mean, how you gonna do that? Okay, so we're still observing it. But as far as I'm concerned, Black history is every single day. And living a spiritual life within the ATRs makes it so. It puts you right into the awareness of what our culture is, our cultures are, and what has helped us to propel ourselves forward, especially in times that are challenging. Yes? So let's get started. Give thanks. All right, hopefully you have your glass of water. And let's speak wonderful, loving words into our water. Anuk Neferet. I am good, beautiful, and successful. Anukai, I am ascending. Yes. Keperni chess, I create myself. Anki, Anki Puneferet, my life is good. Okay. Give thanks. I see you, Simo Walk, and welcome. Welcome. Maria, how are you? Yeah, I know we keep missing each other. I'm sorry. And so let me see if I can connect with you after we get finished, okay? Okay. So we just came through a really exciting new moon cycle, and we're going to continue to hone in that energy because we're still in the shadow of it. And it's a really powerful day, especially because we're honoring Pakit, who represents the winds of change and who also is the terror, just like Oya, same name, same meaning, okay? And who is able to rip things open and create and welcome the new, yes? And then also with Yamoja, family, love, the greatness of the heart, and also of the intellect, but also being able to flow through circumstances. Yamaja, to us, she is Hatmeit. She is the original force of nature who originally wore the fish crown. So she is also abundance. Yes. Pakit brings abundance too. Just like with Oya, you can focus on enhancing your business, increasing your territory, and making positive connections. And so, between the two of them, we're going to really focus today on what we need to do to continue to enhance our finances, our stability, our health, our happiness, our joy, and also to be able to push energy so that things will shift around to the way that we need for it to be. Sister Constance, how are you? It's good to see you. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks. Okay. Are you able to hear the music that I have playing over here? Is it loud enough? Is it too loud? Brandon, you're always good at giving me my volume check. How is it right now? Can you all hear it? so we can start our meditation. And today we're going to start from the feet and going up. Okay? I want you to, oh, no, wait, before we do that, let's pour libation to our ancestors. During this cycle, it was recommended that we lean into Reit and our ancestors. We need them more than ever. All right, and so I'm going to do this very casually today. I want you right where you're sitting to call out the names of your ancestors. Simmons, Blackman, Pridgeon, Exum, Ely Claiborne, Whitley, Artis, Ortiz, Anderson, Lloyd, Yates, McLaughlin, Myers, Murray, Salmon, Mayfield. Oh, great. Thank you. That's good. Okay. Thanks, Brandon. Giving thanks for those who came before. Giving thanks for those whose shoulders we stand upon, who paved the way for us. And our being mindful of living lives that make our ancestors proud. And knowing that we do our best to walk circumspectly in the community, but also to walk in a way where we are elevating our ancestors and where they're feeling good about helping us because they see the benefits of all of us being pulled up by our actions. Yes? Give thanks. All right. Okay, so now let's get ready for meditation. I want you to think in a very succinct way about what you want to see manifest. This could be, of course, on a global level, but starting first of all on a personal level. And I want you to be very, very clear in what you see in your mind's eye, what you want for yourself, and you have to really, really want it. The word ib is the word for the heart. Also, hat is for the heart. But ib is, it's the heart, it's the head, but it is intention. How badly do you want the change in your life? How badly do you want and need things to shift? How much do you want your business to succeed? How much do you want to be able to do well on your job, to be happy, okay? To be happy where you live. Are you drawing in enough income in order to sustain yourself? Do you want more so that you're comfortable? Do you want more so that you're able to pass it on to your children so that they're comfortable? What do you want? What do you need? Focus on it so that way you can clearly articulate it, to give voice to it. Be specific, okay? I mean, people don't realize you can just say, I want to be successful. Okay, but are you aligned with your purpose? You can be successful on a job that you absolutely detest. Hate going to every day, getting that serious paycheck, but not enjoying your life because the fact that you just asked to be successful, but instead of asking to be successful in what is meant for your life, this is about alignment with your purpose. And also being able to manifest and draw abundance toward yourself based on the gifts that you have and the reason that you're here. Okay? If you're dealing with relationship issues, state very clearly what you want to see change or flourish or maybe disappear. Okay? All right. All right. So let's take a moment, get yourself relaxed. Let's do some deep breaths in. Sadek is inhale. Nifa is exhale. Sadek. In through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Nifa. Sadek. Nifa. Sadek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. Envision yourself encircled in a beautiful orb of light so that you are safely cocooned in your space, so that the energy that you pull in will be protective, will be good. Chef Nefer is good energy. And for it to be healing, positive. And now let's draw energy up from the earth through our feet, envisioning a beautiful red, vibrant red color. Up to the tailbone, Rud, the root, being rooted and grounded, manifesting security. Anuk Ardi, I am safe and secure. Take a moment to breathe that in. And now, I want you to voice what it will take for you to feel secure and safe in your life right now. Focusing on the energies of Pekit for radical change and radical healing, for eradication of negative energy. And Hatmeit brings abundance, love, family security, wealth. And now let's move the energy up to Wusakrer, the sacral, vibrant orange, energy of procreation and creativity. Keperni chess, I create myself. Keperni anki, I create my life. This is the place of positive partnering, positive play, people you join with on their journey and on yours, manifesting together. Bringing people around you who will support you and who you can support in turn. What does that look like to you? Do you need to break away from others? Invite in some new people, some new energy, new opportunities, new chances to be creative, and to be creative in your life. Speak out loud what it is that you want. Maybe if you're stuck, you're not in a place of joy and you need to have joy. And now let's move up to the solar plexus, Sungti, vibrant yellow. The courage to live your life out loud. Being in alignment with the source. Through your higher self, through your guides, through the Most High. Anukwe Mwe, I am one with thee one. Doing what is necessary for yourself, but not stuck in ego. Knowing that your actions have an effect on your world, on your community, your family, and of course yourself. seeing the bigger picture, feeling the rays of light, connecting with the life force within and without. Let's take a moment here to inhale, Sarek, Nifa, Sarek, Nifa. Push away all fear, welcoming courage. Sarek, Nifa. Relax your breathing. Sometimes on this journey, we can find ourselves afraid, timid of things because we've been through so much. Trauma can make us timid. Let's work through that. And let's move now up to Hat, the heart, a vibrant green. Connecting one to one, heart to heart. Not being afraid to love. Not being afraid to have positive, loving experiences in your life. Letting go of those who don't show love. And also being in check with yourself to make sure that you are giving love. Understanding that you are worthy of good love in your life. Vibrant, healthy. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. Nini mer nefret. I welcome good love. And now moving up to the throat, a vibrant blue color, the place of Makeru, speaking truth, and also the place of being able to speak into existence what you need, what you mean, having wisdom in your words, knowing when to speak, when not to speak. But going back to courage, having the courage to speak up when you need to, but also having the sagacity to know when to hold your tongue, understanding the power of effective speech. Speak out loud what you truly, truly want right now, the truth that you want for your life. Sadek. Nifa. Sadek. Nifa. Sadek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. The throat is Neferet. There's also another area for Hatmeit. One of her nicknames is Neferet, the good. And she helps you to be on your throne and controlling yourself. She's the earlier aspect of Aset. And now moving up to the brow, dark indigo color. Manifesting through your thoughts. What do you think about yourself? What do you see in your mind's eye? Projecting forward the good things for your future. See it, believe it, own it. And through positive thinking, being able to attract into your life what you need in order to manifest. Aligning here with your destiny. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. Now moving up to the crown, the top of the head. Vibrant white, silver, gold, lavender. The place that connects you with your legacy. What will you leave behind? Based on what you're doing now, what you have done, based on what you will do. And Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. And now sending the energy up to your higher self. Who aligns you and reminds you of your purpose. Ikerit. And now moving it up to Heri Jaja. This is your guardian. And now sending the energy up to Nebuchadnezzar, the Most High. Feel yourself aligned. Accept the divine, loving, creative energy that is coming from the source. From Yahweh, which is a Kemetic word, which means the God of gifts. And now as you feel the energy coming back, pouring into your crown, your brow, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your roots. Feel yourself divinely connected. Anukwe, I am one with the one. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Sarek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. Say to yourself, Anuk Ardi, I am safe and secure. And take this moment and imagine what you want for our world. And know that you can be a force for positive change within it. And as I count down from 10 to 1, we'll return to the presence of our room, bringing all of the positive energy and all that we have put out into the universe and manifested and pulled into ourselves with us. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Inhale, Sadek. Nifa. Sadek. Nifa. Last time. Sadek. Nifa. Relax your breathing. How is everyone? Check in, let me know. Everybody good? Okay. Okay. So we've just come to our cleansing cycle. I hope everybody had a good cycle. I know mine was very fruitful. It was extremely positive and necessary. You know, anytime we go through these cleansing cycles, there's always introspection. And hopefully for you, there's always growth. I know for me that there always is. And especially with everything that we're going through right now, and especially knowing how the election turned out, we knew we were going to need to have some reinforcement. I feel more empowered than ever. And just grateful for life, and grateful because I feel that we are going to end up pulling together in a way that we need to in order to heal. Okay. Constance, you said much, you feel much better. I feel ready to start this week in power and gratitude. Give thanks. Okay. Give thanks. And Maria, I like your stars and your hearts and those thumbs up, I think. Give thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. So we dealt with the energies of Pekit, Kenum, and Sebek from the beginning of the year until now to get us through this month, but also being mindful of Rayet or Rayit and the power of her solar energy. Remember, she is even more powerful than Ray. And then also, of course, remembering the ancestors every single day. Please, please, please make sure that you refresh your ancestor altar on a regular basis. Keep it clean. Pour libation to your ancestors every day, and at least just take a few minutes to just listen. Express your gratitude, but then listen. Listen for the guidance that they have for you. It's vital right now. And again, hearkening back to ancestral traditions, that's what was recommended for us through Oracle, and for us to have a deeper understanding of how those traditions impacted our family line and have impacted us today. You know, let me tell you. Oh, Maria said, "What about your new?" Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 47. Yes, yes. The world is watching, and as we've seen people in our community turncoat us, okay, I mean, just completely turn their backs on the Black community who were touting all this stuff, and people who were considered admirable in the arts world who ended up becoming turncoats. As we've seen people released from prison who didn't need to be released, as we've seen holidays snatched away from us, funding snatched away, legislature changed, as we've seen three plane accidents in less than a week. This has been a lot. It's been a whole lot. This is why it's important for us to be grounded and to not lose focus. A lot is also a lot is happening in the way of distractions too. So pay very close attention to what's happening in our world. And again, stay, for those of us here in the States, stay on our legislators so that they know that we're not happy about what's going on and we want them to do the job for us to intercede. Okay. So I was thinking in terms of, I just mentioned about ATRs, the African traditional religions, and how they've impacted our family, maybe not in recent times for some. Some have grown up in ATRs. Others may have had ancestors who were in ATRs or grandparents, uncles, whoever, and you're in an African traditional religion now, just like the Kemetic faith. Um, um, Orisha tradition, Vodun, your Vaudouisan, Sanse, 21 divisions, Isheshe, there's so many, Igbo tradition. And there's some that many of us are compelled to because we have an obligation to keep that going in order to continue to enhance the lineage. The word for lineage is hue. Hue. And it's depicted by a house with an open door. And so that represents family, relatives, also movable wealth, like back in the day, cattle, livestock, right? But the main thing is it represents lineage, seed, progeny. So many of us have inherited ATRs, like it or not, and have found ourselves going through various traditions. I know I've experienced that. And let me just tell you something today that I realized. I made a list of all the times I have gone through initiation. Are you ready for this? I have been initiated in various traditions 16 times since 1991, since I was 31 years old. 16. Okay. I surprised myself when I wrote it all down. I made a list. And so let me just peek at it real quick. So here it is. Yes, starting from 1991, I was initiated as a priestess in a Brige circle. So listen, Maman Brigitte's been with me a long time. Bridget Circle or Brige. 97. I'm including two of my ordinations too, okay, because that's a form of initiation. I was ordained as a healing minister in 97. I was ordained, I was initiated as a priestess into the Children of the White Rose in 98, and then also as a high priestess in 2003. Ministerial ordination in 99, a mini initiation with another group who shall remain nameless. And 2004 as a high priestess into the Handmaidens of Nubia. 2004 also as an Ankh carrier in the Shrine of Khepra, from in Brooklyn. 2005 as a Queen Mother in the Shrine of Khepra. In May of 2006, I was initiated as a Nanga for the first time. I went through one initiation, and then the second time in September of 2006 as a Nanga. First with Don Miguel Ortiz Hill, and then second with Nanga Baba Mandaza Kandemwa. Here we are at 12. 2013, I received a WAS staff from the Shrine of Khepra from the High Priestess, my godfather, Atef Grandmaster Cam. 13, then made a Zunut, or declared a Zunut, or doctor, healer, scholar in our tradition. Again, Shrine of Kepra. So I've had four through the Shrine of Kepra, five, actually five total Kemetic, and one Nubian bordering on Kemetic. Okay. Then 2022, Rosicrucian initiation. I'd been a Rosicrucian before. I just didn't get initiated, but I finally went and got initiated in 2022. And then 2023 in September as a Voodoo, okay, Mambo Voodoo. And then in November of 2023 into the Order of the Eastern Star. I'm not going through another initiation. I am initiated enough for myself and about four other people. But you know what? I have to say, as I was recalling all of them, I was thinking about the wisdom that I've gleaned from each. Some initiations were glorious. Others, I would only wish on my worst enemy, I swear. Initiation is tough. Even for the really great ones, there's always some kind of a challenge. But I mean, and with every tradition, I've learned so much. I've experienced so much. And I'm able to do all this cross correlative work, which is something that my 13-year mentor, Dolores Stevens, used to always encourage me and admire me for. Encourage me with and admire me for, because she said, you just have this way of being able to cross correlate things that's just so great, and explain it in a way that makes so much sense. And that's because of all this experience that I've had, and because I love studying. I study every day. You can't see my pile of books over there on my couch, but I study every day. I love this. I love this, and I love teaching it. I really, really do. And so because of that, I'm very grateful. Even with all of the initiation, 16. 16. I'll be 65 next month. I'm done. But I said to myself, you know what? For the times where I feel like maybe I don't know enough, and then I'm like, yeah, I mean, listen, again, it's a learning process every single day. Nobody knows everything. And if you deal with somebody who says that they know everything, then you need to just keep moving, because truly nobody knows everything. But I can say I know a lot, okay? I know a whole lot, like it or not. And the term for wisdom, one of the terms well, there are two that I can tell you right now. One is Rekit. And it's interesting because Rekit refers to a set and Nebet as well, the Rekti. They would be called the Rekti. Rek means wisdom, but it also refers to the people. You glean wisdom from dealing with folks, right? Okay. But Rek also means water, like a pool, a basin, right? And so there's reflection. So wisdom comes through reflection. But there's also Sia and Siat. And so this is where things are woven together, because it's like, like a sort of a kind of a flag, sort of a piece of fabric, And when you have things that are woven together, that's because things finally come together for you. Listen, you get older and you really spend a lot of time thinking about what you should have done, or what you shouldn't have done, or what you still want to do, And it's through that when you start measuring, okay, well, this was good. Okay, this stunk. Okay. Or, being really fair in assessing. The assessment part is where the wisdom comes in, and the comparative experiences. That's where wisdom really comes in. And, also when you learn something, maybe like, things that from when I was 31 and first went through priestess initiation, and now all these years later, oh, realize what that meant, because you just did not have the life experience or the information to be able to process everything that is coming to you. I mean, I look back at that first ceremony. Wow, it was cool. That one actually was very cool. I remember being stressed as I don't know. But it was with a group of women. We were all going through it together. It was lovely. It was lovely, but it was stressful, and um, but there's a lesson with every initiation. How many of you have gone through initiation? I know a lot of people actually tend to come online and talk all this stuff and have not gone through a single initiation. They're coming on as an expert. What can they really tell you except for what they read out of a book? And a lot of them are just sitting there reading. Okay? They do research and then they just spew it out. You can do your own daggone research, right? If you don't have the life experience behind it to back it up, then I really don't want to listen. I don't want to talk to you. I don't, I mean, you can always learn something. Yeah, okay. But in terms of being an expert, you can't tout yourself as an expert if you haven't even submit yourself one time to an initiation on this path. Now, I'm not saying that you got to go and become a priest or priestess, okay? But even in committing yourself to an ATR, there are different stages that you go through. And yes, sometimes it's fearful, but working through the fear is what brings the reward, and also the discipline, and also the self-respect that you will get once you go through it. Okay? Give thanks. Shawanda, I see you. Give thanks and praise. She says, Amen. Say, yeah, yeah. It's real easy to be up here fat mouthing about this, that, and the other, but did you go through initiation? On any level at all? That takes real courage. Yeah, you know. So I just wanted to put that out there because some of us um, may not even be aware of the fact that we have family obligations to carry something on. This is not everybody, but in some cases, and I know that I did. Brandon says, I haven't been through initiation in ATR or any religious community. Okay. Well, I still hope that you're practicing. Listen, let me say this. If you have not been through initiation, I hope at least that you do have a routine spiritual practice that is working for you, okay? Because the consistency in your practice also makes a huge difference. Because, there are people who get initiated and then just, they don't really stay dedicated to their practice. They just want the title or to be able to just turn around and charge people a lot of money so they can do ceremony after ceremony after ceremony. But where's your practice? So the real thing is making sure that you have a consistent practice. Ma'at Shais Ma'at means consistency. Constance says, I've been through ministerial ordainment, maternity naming ceremony, acknowledged as Iyami, baptized in Christianity. I forgot my lifelong, I forgot my Christian baptism. Yeah. Nothing extremely formal though. Well, but those are forms of ceremony, and those are forms of initiation. They are, the ceremony that you go through in becoming a minister, and you had a naming ceremony. I mean, all that's those. When you receive a name, that's a form of initiation because it is like a further step into, and dedication to the tradition. Okay. Reiki attunements do count. Oh Lord, I forgot my Reiki. Actually, I went through a Reiki attunement, and my mentor, when I called her and said, I'm gonna get a Reiki attunement so I can get a certificate, she was like, why would you do that? And I said, because people, they want the paper. And so she said, yeah, but it would be like downshifting for you. I mean, the energy you're working with is already so powerful. And I'm just saying for me. She was right. she was absolutely right. Reiki messed me up because the energy actually that we work with in Shenu is Shenwurit energy, which is extremely powerful ancient Kemetic energy. Extremely powerful. It's like you have both Sekhmet and Het Heru fused into the, well, they are one. They're both sides of the same coin. But Reiki attunements do count as levels of initiation. Mm-hmm. Brandon says possibly through music, like in orchestra. I had wait, what did I miss? Okay, so I missed something. Initiation. You're talking about with initiation, like moving. Are you talking about like, okay, so like when I was in high school, I remember when I made first chair, which is like a level of initiation. Is that, you mean like that, Brandon? Initiation ultimately is life, to be honest with you. Yeah, but I'm talking about two different things where you go through the required ceremony in order to be in a practice. Uh, but you find that initiation is life. Life is initiation. I always say that. And um, as you continue to learn and to grow, just like with going through every single grade in school, and you look back and you're not that same person. Ideally, that's how it should be in life. And if you are um, um, if you're an individual who wants to stay stuck at a certain age, you know how there are people who just refuse to accept that they're older, you know. Okay, so what did you play? I loved orchestra. I loved marching band. We did marching band in the fall, and in the spring we did concert band, orchestra. What did you play? That is a type of initiation because it's, see, the thing about initiation is there's preparation for it, right? Like, did you try out for first chair? Because I know I had to try. I had to try out for it. Um, but you've got to put in all this work, and it's the same as when you're preparing to to compete for first chair. Then it's the same as you're preparing for various levels of initiation, even from an emotional standpoint. Even when you realize that you're ready to take a name, okay, that's a big deal. Many people are aware of the fact that you um, um, when you become part of various ATRs, then you also are given a new, well, we call it REN in the Kemetic community. That's the word for name. But it represents that you've stepped into a new life. And that also you are, with the energies, your name should align with the energies of your life purpose. So that every time that your name is spoken, you are reminded of the qualities and characteristics that you have, but also those potential characteristics and talents that you possess that you are expected to bring to the world. That's the real purpose of getting an African name, or a name within the various traditions. That's the real purpose. Okay, it is a form of rebirth, but it is also to set you aright, especially as an adult. If you don't come up in the traditions, and you've got to go through all of this changing your mind, getting the westernization out of your head. That's the hardest thing. You've got to get your ego out of the way. You got to get the westernization that's been imposed upon you that you grew up in out of your head. You really are reborn. So as a result, taking on a name is a way of helping you to remember who you're supposed to be. Because when you're a child, and if you're a child and you are given that name, then you grow up knowing, okay, this is who I'm supposed to be. Even for the name that you have, even if it's not an African name, and I say this all the time, there's a meaning behind your name. There's a story behind your name. Even if your parents just took two syllables and slapped them together, there's a story behind it. And you should find out the meaning of your name and the story of your name. But also, for the Western name that you were given, you should find out the meaning. My birth name is Elaine. It means heavenly light. I wish I'd known that my entire life, because it also means beautiful. I would have thought differently about myself, right? My father's last name, my last name is Lloyd. and it means of the wise ones, of the gray hairs, okay, and the sage. Uh, and so the importance of knowing the meaning of your name helps you to anchor into who you are and what is projected, what the universe is telling you about yourself and what you're bringing to the world. But see, the thing about lineage is it helps you it helps to remind you about who you are bringing around you and into your family, especially if you're getting married. I tell you, if I had known the story of my lineage years ago, I wouldn't have married not a one of my husbands, not one. Most of the relationships I was in, I'd have just skipped. Okay, so um, because it would have just been a different story. You played violin. Wow. That is such an amazing skill. I mean, playing any instrument is a skill, but I really admire violinists. That's amazing. Do you still play, Brandon? Constance says, I got the name Serket Ya Asa. Okay. Do you find yourself living up to the name? Do you feel comfortable with it? It's funny, we all played an instrument. Brandon, okay, Constance says, I did piano, but color guard and marching band for 4 years. Hey, color guard was cool. I mean, I never did color guard, but I admired them because, the flipping the rifles and all that and the flags and everything, but especially the flipping the rifles and being able to march at the same time. Yeah. There's a really good camaraderie when you are in the school band. There really is, you know. Okay. So, so let me just make myself clear on that. I'm not trying to say everybody should run out and get initiated in something because that's a mistake too. There are people who have no business getting initiated. Spare yourself, spare the world, okay? And where your practice should be enough, right? But then for those who are called, it's important to answer the call. If you're called to be a healer, if you're called, and I want to also clarify something. I'm not knocking Reiki, okay? Because I have known some powerful, powerful Reiki healers, but the thing is, I will only let a couple work on me. Right now, one in particular, one of my students, only because the fact that the energy has to be a good match. I mean, if it's like, I think I'm sure you understand, but I've known some powerful Reiki healers. So I just want to make sure you understand my perspective on that. I'm not knocking Reiki at all. And going back to the whole thing about having a practice that works for you, being consistent in your practice, but also being willing and courageous enough to answer the call. Okay? Don't go after titles for the title, for greed, for self-esteem, for trying to one up somebody. Oh, well, this person got initiated, so I have to also, well, if they can get initiated, I can't. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Priesthood is ministry. It is work. And in Shanu, when people get initiated, they also become ordained ministers. That is what we offer. That's what I offer. Okay. And so they're able to do weddings, burials, all the stuff that a minister legally can do, hospital visitations. You become a card carrying minister because priesthood is ministry. Now, I know that there are all kinds of jobs that are, positions that exist within ministry. There are some people who are just lector priests, meaning that they just get up and they read the word. There are those who are scholars. There are those who are healers. There are those who do consultations with people. Okay, uh, there are so many. There are musicians. There are dancers. You know, ministry and priesthood takes on so many different roles. Um, but it is still ultimately ministry. It is. Why? Because you are a vessel for the divine and you're in service to the divine and you're in service for the community, no matter what your role is. Even if you're a designated prayer warrior, that is ministry. Not everybody can do that. You know, that's a certain level of dedication. Wow. Okay. If it is mysticism and, you know, you got it like that, that's ministry. It's ministry. So when people learn the fact that it is ministry and that it's not about you, it is about your being in service. I think we would, I know we would find the shape of our ATRs today to be much better if people had that understanding and came into the ministry of priesthood with that mindset. I mean, there are different names. You know, like I told you, I was initiated twice as a Nanga, which is a healing minister in the Shona and Ndebele and Jusu tradition. Okay, so you know, different names, still ministry, right? Okay, so let's quickly review Oracle from Weber Input and what was projected for this year, and looking at how this is playing out. Uh, the writing, my handwriting, it's big enough, but I think I need a little help. Okay. Okay. You know, and I pull this out every few weeks just to see where we are. Wow. This is the purpose of Oracle, so we know how to handle things. You know, this is the divine's way of letting us know what's coming down the pike, what we should expect, and what the remedy should be for us. So, Sarusa Shat, Weapon Input 2024. Yes. Who speaks? Asking Sashat, who is the governing oracle voice, who speaks and who will carry us through to Weapon Input 2025. And the answers were Shepsu, the ancestors of light who walk with us. There are two tiers of ancestors. There are the Iyaku. Iyaku sounds a lot like Egun, right? So in the Orisha traditions, and that the ancestors, okay? But these are the ancestors of light who walk closest with the creative force. The Shepsu are the ancestors of light who walk closest with us and work more closely with us, okay? So the Shepsu and also the Nechurt Reit or Reyet. And again, she is more powerful than Ray. She's the female aspect of Ray, but she's more powerful. And so then the question, Shepsu, what message do you share? So from the Shepsu came Wasir reversed. Restlessness, no harvest. Remember that Wasir or Asar, who the Greeks called Osiris, taught agriculture. He's associated with harvest and growth, but encouraging people to be abundant, to live abundantly, and also to make out well business wise by being able to grow their own crops. That was a huge thing. So he taught economy and he taught the art of agriculture. So that's what he's associated with, but this was reversed. So then from the Cowrie card, blessings, but it came up reversed as well. Dried resources. Well, what are we seeing played out now? as different funding opportunities are being yanked away. Quite frankly, last week I was in my therapy session and my therapist said, so we'll schedule for next week, but we'll see if we're even going to be open next week because of the funding yank, because this place is federally funded. So my therapist may be out of a job and I may be out of a therapist. From a place that is highly reputable. I've been going there for the last 5 years, and it's an amazing place. And the fact that they're able to supply or provide therapy for free, and excellent therapy at that, highly therapeutic, very sensitive, very informational. Okay, could be yanked away just like that. Just waiting to see what's going to happen. And then you've got, Medicaid that may be yanked away, SNAP that may be yanked away. I mean, all of these things that are affecting people in their everyday lives for survival. Dried resources. Now, questioning Rait, what message do you bring? Rait she said Min, also known as Menu, also known as Amsu, and it was reversed. Min is a variation of Wasir. Yes. And broken alliance, no growth. And the carry card says, be strong. It was upright. Be strong. You can understand why. Projection, extremely difficult year. Ancestors urge us to follow traditional, sensible sacrifice. This is not talking about, animal sacrifice. We don't do that in Kemetic, tradition. Back in the day, way back in the day, they used to. Okay, modern day practitioners, we don't do that. We're kind of like the Umbanda and Sansei of the ATRs. Okay, along with well, they're part of the ATRs too. But we're in line with Umbanda, which doesn't do sacrificing. The same thing with Sansei, doesn't do that. So, but this is talking about personal sacrifice, the wisdom and the things, and seeing the things that we need to give up. And isn't it apropos that many of us are boycotting now? And I'm not talking about like just some one. I'm just focused on making sure that where my money goes, it's where I'm appreciated. So, I've been telling y'all my Amazon stories, and I finally said, I don't need Amazon. I got kind of spoiled by it these last several years. Yeah, but they don't do 2-day delivery anymore, right? I had a thing where I had ordered something that was supposed to come in 2 days, and as soon as I ordered it, it said it was coming in 9 days. I called up and had a fit. I got my products, but I got fully refunded because of the fact that it was false advertising, right? Plus, they gave me two $10 gift cards, right? Because and I'm telling you, there was so many things. Delivery's not right. Why is it over on my neighbor's porch? Why is it? What's going on? How come this never showed up? All these different things. And I had to stop and think about it because of where we are right now, what's going on, and I was like, I don't need that. And also, I canceled my Hulu. I ain't got no beef with Hulu. It was just that I realized I don't use it. The other day, I was like, hey, you're paying for Hulu every month. That what is it? $8.99 plus it's a Disney deal. You get Disney Plus and Hulu, and I wasn't watching either. Well, sometimes I would watch Encanto and also Coco, right? That's all I was watching. It makes me happy. It make me happy, and so that was my go-to. But I'm not watching it every day. I'm not watching it every month. And then as far as Hulu was concerned, I like documentaries, and also in no, what's the show with Max and oh, the roommates, Queen Latifah's show. What's that called? Anyway, they used to have the whole season, every season up there every year, but now they don't. And that was like my go-to feel good show, right? Um, and then I found a documentary that I wanted to watch, right? And then that was it. So I said, bye. I canceled it. You know, I'll be just fine. I'll be fine without my Amazon Prime videos because I hardly watch that either. You know, you kind of fall into some patterns, and right now it's about like, listen. I'm gonna put my money where I need to, where it's gonna like really help me to flourish. If it's like putting it back into my business, investing in myself, saving, you know, and again, the biggest thing is making sure that I put my money in a place where I know that I am appreciated. You know, so anyway, so that's in alignment with our oracle here. Yes. So Rait reminds us of her scorching sun that can dry resources, but also bursts open new portals of potential miracles. I listen, I'm a witness to that. I am a witness. Okay. Um, she can make the impossible possible. Mhm. Major health and financial issues are afoot. Conservative spending, delayed gratification to survive. Okay. And so the Saru Sashat Oracle um, indicates that there is great potential for the year to still end up being happier than the previous one. And yeah, the question was, will I spend this year happier than the last? Answer, your misfortune will vanish and you will be happy. So that's extremely positive. And then going on with the Circle of Fate Oracle, the Shanu Shait. The return of someone dear or the turnaround of something beloved that was lost now being found. Recovery. Summary. Here's the summary. Even though the year will be extremely challenging, we can overcome by listening closely to our Shepsu. Remember, Hebwegu, ancestor season, had just begun back then when this was when I originally did this. Keep your Kaut Shepsu, your Shepsu altar, fresh daily with libation and plants. Hearken to conservative traditions. Focus on saving, earning, not splurging, nothing unnecessary. Okay. Um, well, being careful. All right. What you choose and where. By the way, please buy black. And if you do need to get some gift items, I hope that you will please visit my online store. Because even though we're talking about being conservative, listen, still, please support Black business, especially this is Black History Month. And um, and truly, I would appreciate the money. Okay. So, also, for those of you who are, I'm going to put another little plug here. Uh, for those of you who are interested in investing in yourself, becoming a um, a comedic yoga instructor, and this is Shenu comedic yoga. This is not the other practices that are out there. This is the specially developed practice that I created based on deep research, being able to justify the names of the poses, and also correlating them to the meta nature. And so please, if you are interested, then you can go to my website at imakhu.info and go to the online school, which is the Shenu Harmonious Living Institute. And you'll find a series of classes that are there to help improve your life. Speaking of learning more about the ATRs, and I'll be focusing a lot more on exactly what Kemetic culture is, what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, and eradicate many of the myths that are out there, but also to ensure you that there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of negative hype, and this is a beautiful practice in truth. If you're really, really you're giving yourself over to the practice, you will find that it is a beautiful tradition. You know, you just heard me say that I've been initiated all those times, but the one anchor, the go-to that I have is my Kemetic faith. I must tell you. Okay. So, um, oh, and let me just finish this here. So, Wasir and Min are the same, except Wasir or Asar taught prosperity through agriculture and harmony with nature, okay, with nature. In his mummified aspect, he is stillness in preparation for regeneration and growth. Reversed, he is restless and careless. Wasir squandered his gift of immortality and leadership. He became separated from all that was dear to him because of one moment and act of selfish indiscretion. Y'all know the story, right? So, exercise, yehuches, self control. And finally, Reitz is the female aspect of Re. She is much more powerful. Call on her for breakthroughs in seemingly impossible situations. And when you need courageous self confidence, light yellow candles for her, and you can write her name on the wax and recite her prayer. That's for my students to have her prayer. Beware of the new COVID strain that's going around, and there's a fierce cold that's going around too. That's really hard to shake. And walking pneumonia has been going around. So be just extra careful about your immune system. People are experiencing temperatures of 103 and getting it twice. The one thing to splurge on is holistic health. Return to ancestral remedies. Drink lots of water and protect yourself. Okay, so that's the review of the oracle message that we got at Wepper Put, and we can certainly see how it's playing out, but it does offer us hope. And let's really focus on the positive of being very realistic. Rayet is the scorching sun that reveals. We're dealing with great revelations right now that we need to face as a society so that we're able to deal realistically. You know, you can't fight an enemy if you don't know who it is. So now, very clear. Have to be very clear on how to deal with those who are trying to bring you down. Okay? Don't buy into the hype. And there's always a creative way around things. Always, always, always. Let's stay on code. Let's stick together. Let's honor our sacred days within the ATRs. Let's make sure we honor our ancestors. Let's make sure that we honor our whatever your path is, whether it's Loa or Risha, whether it's the mysteries, as they're called in the 21 divisions, Necheru. Listen, hearken to your faith. Hearken to the disciplines that go along with the path, but also as you give yourself over to it, just relax in your faith as well and let it carry you, because the wisdom of our ancestral traditions are powerful, powerful. The very fact that we can go to Oracle in order to get an idea of what's going on a regular basis, and we have that communication with our guardians and with the Most High. It is a gift. It's a beautiful gift, and one that can be honed. And if it's something that you don't do, then there are certainly enough reliable people in the community that you can go to in order to have that done. And yes, I'm doing consultations again for those who are interested. And if you want to find out the shaping factors for yourself for the rest of the year, then by all means, feel free to reach out. Again, please go to my website, imakhu.info, in order to book a consultation. Okay. All right. It's time for Huit. I tell you, I put this bookmark in here, and where is why is it there? It's in the front of the book. Okay, here we are. You know what's funny? Now, listen, I don't have perfect vision, right? But I've been getting around without these. Like, I have my glasses for a reason, and I had them walking around in my purse with them. And finally, I looked in there and I said, I forgot that I have glasses. I have two pair of glasses. I completely forgot. Things got so much easier once I got the definition, you know. It's amazing how we can deprive ourselves of things that are right there. And you know what? When you get older, there are things that get easier. Yeah, you lose some acuity with some things, okay? But there are things that actually get easier, you know, some things that are provided for you that, or again, things that you've done sometimes. Be like, oh, wow, I need to have a such and such outfit for such and such occasion. All I have to do is go to my closet. I've got so many, I'm so prepared for so many things. You know, I'll think of I have to look something up, but then I've got books on my bookshelf that cover it. You know, it's not like I have to go out and buy anything new. Things get easier. You know, it's not that things aren't challenging at times, but the fact is, sometimes we can make things harder on ourselves. Can't see, and I have glasses. I mean, you know. Okay. Now I'll tell you something else. When you get older, oh no, oh no, not that. Where my bottles of oil fell. I'll have to get it later. Doggone it. When you get older and you hang out with your friends, it's it's so fun. There is a certain cavalier way of being once you get to be older, and it's so great. Just laugh and have fun at things, you know, that you wouldn't have ordinarily have thought was funny, or yeah, you know, I mean, just there's a certain freedom, you know. People despise the notion of getting old, but you should older, but you should look forward to it. You should, you know, if you work it out right, it's the best time of your life. You know, okay, I spilled that my oil. No, it fell over. I tipped it. Okay. But I also did want to share a couple things with you before we do Huey Codest. Let me put this over here. Now, one, if you have trouble sleeping at night, this is not a commercial, okay? This is not any kind of a paid endorsement or anything like that. But you've heard me promote the Tea Essentially Yours brand before. And this is magnesium oil. Listen, if you have trouble sleeping, all you need to do is just roll a little bit on the bottom of your feet, just a little, because otherwise you'll be knocked out for hours and hours. But this relaxes you into a really good deep sleep, just a little bit. So magnesium is a wonderful relaxant. and overall, but to have it as a roll-on oil, it's great. It's really, really great. And this is the next to the last thing I got from Amazon before I canceled it. The last thing I got was I got a big thing of toilet paper with one of the free coupons that I got. But yeah, this is whipped unrefined African shea butter, but this has frankincense in it. Oh my goodness. First of all, and again, I'm not doing any kind of like product endorsement and stuff like that, like I'm being paid or nothing like that. I'm just sharing with you. Y'all know how I do. The feel on this is so good. It's not like, sometimes you get shea butter and it's like kind of chunky, clunky, right? It's light, it's smooth, right? The finish is nice when it goes on. And it has this, oh, I love the frankincense smell. Frankincense is relaxing, believe it or not. There are health benefits to frankincense. We usually know it for purification, with incense, lighting it in our homes. You have the myrrh in order to take out the negative energy, and the frankincense to pull in the positive energy. But or even wearing it as an oil for the same reason. But it has a lot of healing properties to it. Look it up. So I love, love this. So nice. So nice. And I kind of put you like this. Nice, even keel. Yeah, the brand, what is the brand? RA Cosmetics. Huh, Ray Cosmetics. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to share that with you. Okay, Huey Carest. Here we go. The Sacred Supper of Huey Carest, known today as Eucharist, was created in ancient Kemet. The priests and priestesses of Aset honored the resurrection of King Wasir and the resurrection of life. We all face personal levels of resurrection daily. As we learn the lessons of this life, we strive to grow and leave behind the old and unnecessary habits and behaviors and move forward into higher consciousness. The blood that flows through our veins is of our ancestors. Huit represents the DNA, the ancestral blood that reaches back into the beginning of time. In African culture, we refer to the river of ancestors. The blood, or senef, of our ancestors flows through each of us, as our blood will flow through future generations. It is an endless stream. As we call on the light and wisdom of our high ancestors, or Imakhu, our blood becomes purified. As such, we are mindful of giving respect, Sha'esha, to Senef, blood. When we become spiritually awakened, we take our places within the awakened body of consciousness, Christ consciousness, Kerest consciousness. Kerest means the mummified remains or body wrapped in swaddling strips, death to the old. Yet spirit lives on. It has victory over death. We, in our spiritual growth, have victory over death and in life as we put emphasis on spirit and are not stuck in matters of the flesh and mundane. The bread, te, symbolizes the body, or kerest. Please hold up your bread. Repeat after me. Necheru, bless this bread of life. Semek necheru, mishet unkpen. I am the bread of life. Anuk mishet unk. I am the body of awakened consciousness. Anuk kerest. My body is sacred. Kati jaser. My spirit is of Nichir, or God. Kani in Nichir. Thank you, God. Dwan Nichir. Wunem, eat. Please hold up your cup. Repeat after me. Necharu, bless this blood of life. Semek necharu, senef angpen. My blood flows from the river of ancestors. Senefi sef ni im yaku. Way be, purify me. Thank you, God. Dwana chur. Baba. Drink. Please hold up your cup. This cup is also you. It is a sacred chalice. You, like the cup, are a sacred vessel. Be mindful of what you fill your life with. Your life is sacred. Repeat after me. I am a sacred vessel. Anuk Imakhu. My life is sacred. Anki Jaser. Amen. Amen. Amenit. That concludes our service. Cannabis Maximus, how you doing? It's good to see you. Give thanks. Okay. Anybody have any questions before we close? Okay. I pray that everyone is Pandora. Hey, how you doing? Give thanks. It's so good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. I was wondering how you were. Cannabis Maximus says blessings to all. Give thanks. Well, it's so good to be here with you all, our online family, and praying that you all are safe. Actually canceled a couple of doctor appointments this week to prevent going out because of the ICE situation that was here in Newark. You know, they're just grabbing people up, not just here in Newark, but I mean across the country. And you know, if you look like you don't belong here, what does that mean? I don't know. But I said, I think I need to kind of lay low for a little bit. Got a lot done. But for safety's sake, I said, yeah. So I changed my doctor appointment to the end of the week. It was supposed to be the beginning of the week, you know, trying to use some wisdom and care. But by the same token, I mean, you know, it was good to go out yesterday and to celebrate the first day of Black History Month. And Pandora says, hi, great to see you. I'm finding that I am short-tempered and feeling less tolerant to the unwoke sort of attitudes, and also when people are not very honest with me. That's understandable, Pandora. You know, we're really being tested, if you will. I mean, that sounds very like religious cliche, but the truth is, as a society, we really are. We're either going to have to elevate, because people are not going to put up with this. I'm telling you, I believe that there are going to be different levels of nonconformity. Okay. Very carefully planned resistance, not anything violent, but just in terms of economics. And I'm afraid that's the only thing that's going to really speak to people, because folks didn't realize when they cast their votes that this was going to affect everybody, la-di-da to everybody. Okay. So, and then with people being disingenuous, yeah, that's very hard. It's extremely hard, because you want to be able to trust people, but then you find out that it's not what you think. You know, I mean, sometimes you have to be merciful because you don't know what a person's going through. But if you have somebody who is just straight up in your face and is two-faced, that's just another whole thing. So I think a lot of people are dealing with the two-faced notion of who's in office right now and realize that they got played. Listen, If nothing else, the man said what he was going to do. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. I'm not saying that's commendable. What I'm saying is it's not a surprise. I mean, for the people who did, for the folks who thought he was playing, you know, what can I say? I believed him. I believed everything that he said that he was going to do. So let's see what we can do to try to flip things around energetically, continue projecting positivity out into our world, and being able to overcome these very severe challenges that have been placed upon us, that have been imposed upon us. And I'm praying that there aren't any more plane crashes. I mean, I don't know if any of you heard, but I forget which state it was in, but a plane wing caught on fire as it was taking off. The pilots had to land the plane. They didn't even get off the tarmac. There's something weird that's going on. Very definitely. Keep your eyes open. Stay prayed up. Stay in your rituals. Stay at your ancestor altar and stay calm. I'm not saying don't get ticked off, but in our tradition, we believe that you should take your anger and fuel it into something positive to create and affect positive change. Okay? Yeah, Constance, DC and Philly, but there was one more today. One more today that I saw where a plane wing caught on fire. There's a video that um, uh, one of the passengers took. So the plane had to land. It never got off the ground because it was on fire. So that's 3 incidences. It's so sad for the people who have transitioned. It's horrible. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's bad enough there were adults, there were young people, there were children. The plane in Philly was carrying children from was it the Shriners Hospital? One had just finished treatment, heading back to Mexico. All the lives lost. In fact, let me just close in this prayer. Divine Limitless Creator, we thank you so much for another day, for another time of being able to come together and pray deeply and sincerely for the healing of this country, of the world, of humanity. And are energetically praying for things to flip around and give us continued wisdom on what we can do on our parts in order to affect change. We are thankful for the Necheru, for all of the guardians who are able to help us and who are helping us. We're grateful for our ancestors who paved the way and who are here for who are giving us support. And we're grateful for life and all the blessings that we are claiming to come in this year and the next. And we ask all these things in all of your most wonderful and gracious and divine names. Amen. Amen. Okay. All right. So I'll see you all next time. And stay safe. In the meantime, Nereya, which means much love. Heri, which means be at peace. Teni, which means be accountable. Jebewi, which means to show mercy. And I love you all. I appreciate you all. And thank you for your continued support. Have an excellent night. Have an excellent week. Nereya.